where we talk about relationships and life, and we are glad that you're joining us today, this evening. My name is Martha Mora, and I'm glad to be with you guys. I'm here together with Edu. We can say something and then we can proceed.
Thank you. Hello, VP. How have you been? I've been fine and well. Maybe you. How is the new curfew taking you? For us, it's taking us, yay. But we are here decoding the process each and every 9:45 p.m. We are always here for you to answer those issues that you cannot decode on your own, but we can decode together, bring them, slide them on our comments, on our social media platforms, and we are going to decode them. We are going to talk them. We are going to bring light unto them. And that's why we, decoders, Martha and I, are here to talk it out.
Yep.
And tonight we are having an interesting topic. I know you're like, you guys are three, where is the other one? He will be joining us soonest.
Yes, so today we're talking about love and lust. Many a times we find ourselves in situations where we cannot differentiate between, is it really love that I can invest in, or am I being lustful, or is this relationship being based on lust? So we want to define those things and make them a bit more clear so that we can be able to understand this and be sure not to find ourselves in these situations. So Edu,
yes,
of course, now you can dive in and tell us a few things that you think about love and lust and begin to help us understand. How does somebody know that something is love? This is love. Honestly, something I can, give my life to, and it's worth investing in. Or is this lust? Is this somebody after other things apart from myself? And what matters?
Okay. Basically, I would say I will not define it as the dictionary does, but I'm just going to use the layman language. Like love, love is real. Love is soft and smooth, and it's that gentle voice in you that will tell you, like, you know what, he's the right guy or he's the right lady.
Kafyu maneno.
Kafyu tangu kafyu yashiriwe tumeashiria kila kitu. Lakini ni sawa tu. So basically love is it's soft spoken. It's something that will give you clarity and certainty that this is certain. This is real. Love has no fear. Love, there is no holding back when you love something, when you love someone, or when you're in a relationship with someone and you feel like, you know what, this is the kind of a person that I would want. You will expose yourself. You will release yourself fully without fear of anything. And then when you look at this particular person, you are not having those to combine na uko nyuma, some play na uko nyuma inacheza, like, you know, I would want to explore more in this person, but you want to love them.
Yes.
You want to have them, like understand them more, walk with them, learn them. Unaona? That is love. But lust ni that attraction. First of all, it's you are attracted to someone. Love ni attraction pia. But now the kinds of attractions are different. First of all, lust, you will feel like that sensational feeling, like you will want you are sexually attracted to this person. But love, on the other side, you are just attracted to them and you want to know them more. You know, you want to explore life with them. But this other one, you want to explore sexual or intimate relationship with them even before knowing a person. That is lust for me. Like, I would want to, nataka tu like tukue tu pahali tuna erausiana vitu kama hizo ma feelings, you know, like we're in a room, we can do stuff so that we can activate the sexual desire in it. Yes.
So basically, from what you're saying, I can actually derive something that love is about the other person.
Yes.
Lust is about yourself.
Exactly.
So when you're self-seeking, of course, you're trying to say that is lust. Anytime, you know, sometimes we do things unknowingly, you know, it's not always that somebody's lustful, they are aware. Sometimes they're not even aware of that situation. So if you find you're really self-seeking, for instance, lust being self-seeking means it's a bodily pleasure. You seek, like you said, an example of sexual pleasures. There's also other pleasures of the world. Like, I just want to have fun. So that is lust, of course. I also want your money. That is lust because I want it to fulfill my physical desires,
financial desires.
So basically, lust is about your eyes, but love is about your heart. Love is what is inside your heart and not your eyes.
Yes.
So lust is what you see and what you only see. It's how the physical realm, not into the emotional and the spiritual and the mental connection.
Yes.
Lust doesn't take you to that place. But as long as you love somebody, you seek to connect with them emotionally, spiritually, physically, in all dimensions. And of course, as we've said, love is about the other person more than it is about yourself. So that means love is more about not the ability but the capacity. Because if I have capacity to love you, capacity comes in the term. Can you like handle some things? Because lust will not allow you to actually endure some of the things that
even actually
will happen.
have time to get to know you.
Yes.
I will not want to understand you more. Nataka hii kitu tufanye haraka haraka hii iishe kaa nimesonga mbele. Such things.
If you have the capacity to actually love somebody, that means you're able to develop them, to help them, scale higher in their dreams, to help them even in their low moments. Some of us lust can't sustain such moments. As long as things are not going and flowing, then you're frail and weak to even follow through what needs to be done.
True.
So of course, as we're saying, love is just divine. It's something that you go beyond the norm to really help the other person. Love has always been, even God loving us has always been about us. He never talks about
covering a lot of multitude and all those things.
Yes, and imagine all the time God talks about love. He's not even telling us about how we should obey His commandments. So He's telling us about how He loves us and He wants us to be with Him. And He has done so much for us to be with Him. So love is always about the other person. Whenever you find yourself really seeking other things beyond yourself, and it's just, what am I getting from this? You might never be able to do a relationship, because a relationship is always about what you bring to give, not what you come in to receive.
Exactly. But lust is the other way around. What am I getting out of this? And lust, mostly I will want to spend on you more so that to win you. Love still I will spend, but lust kuna kale wacha nimspoil haraka haraka, nimconfuse. Unaona?
Or I'm getting something in return.
In return.
Because I know if I'm going to spoil you, what are you giving me in return? Of course, like now, let's go maybe to the examples of such relationships. Because probably somebody can see those signs and symptoms, but want to really define such relationships. For instance, of course, like you're saying, a sponsor. Of course, when somebody's sponsoring you, they are expecting something in
return.
The same way even you're giving out something, expecting something in
return.
Of course, that is something that happens so prevalently lately. And I'm telling you, everything has a consequence. Every disobedience has a punishment, and of course every obedience has its own reward. So if you want to do things like that right now, be sure in the near future you will pay for whatever you did. So
yeah, but you see, the other thing is you have talked about lust. When I talk about love is patient. Love will endure a particular process. Like when you say about sponsoring, and maybe not only sponsorship, maybe I am a young guy having money and all that, or I'm wealthy enough, and maybe a lady is attracted to me because of that. That is still lust. But you see, there are other people out here, since we are talking about relationships, and we want to see our generation thriving in the right relationship, the godly relationship, and to remove the lustful nature in it, or the sinful nature in it. So you see, there is patience that need to be endured in the process. Because if I'm a young man and I don't have money, then I try maybe courting or katiaring, the layman's language, kukatia dem alafu akatae, cause I'm like, hauna do, mimi nataka msichana do. You see, I've not established myself in that area. So, and it will be a duration. So if you don't want to go with me through the process, you don't want to go with me in that particular situation, then that is not love. Because love endures. Love is patient. Love is understanding. Love cares. But when you cross over to this other side, that person is not even caring. Unampigia, hey, sasa, I'm in a stuck situation. I really need to see you. No, let me send you some. And as in, he's substituting his presence with some commodities. Whereas you need his or her presence, he's substituting that with excuses or maybe a patikani at a particular time. Basically, that's how I will derive it, you know. And I will really encourage our fellow young people out there, maybe who want to thrive into relationships or who want to get into a committed relationship, because one thing about us decoding the process, we don't just decode for the sake of decoding. We want to decode and have a results, you know, and the result is seeing nice relationships, good relationships that are leading into marriage, you know. So basically that's what we're trying to do. And if there are if there are those kinds of people pale nje, like wanataka tu kutumia msee, of which imekuwa sana. You know, there's a song I was listening as I was driving to a place napendanga kwenda sana, a long distance, so I tend to put music on. And in this particular music, it was a secular music. Ilikuwa inasema like Nairobi tunashare. Ule ana the one who gives you, I don't wanna quote the song venye iko, but the one who gives you is the one who gives me. So we are being given by one particular person. You see? And when I was listening to that song, I was like, really? This song really in our time like this, and people have embraced it. It's being sung like everywhere, and it's become like an anthem. But that is the wrong version of love. You know, there are people who have stuck and they have said, you know what, I will wait until the right person comes. You know, so because of that particular notion in the world that they are sharing and doing all that, not everybody who is sharing, I know deep down my soul and in my spirit, and I'm convinced there are still young people who are still pure, who are still real, who are still in pursuit of true love. You know, when you wanasema like, hey, kama love squeezy, people are killing each other. No, don't focus on the negative actually, because that's what the enemy wants us to do. We focus on the negative. To say, love hata hai exist. If lust exists, then there is love. If there is bad, there is good. If there is light, there is darkness, you know. So let us not, we children of the kingdom, even guys out there, si lazima ati umeokoka sana ndio ati you experience love. Actually, the Bible says, while we were still sinners, he loved us. That's why he gave his only son to die. So, guys, love is true. We can do it. It's not a must to engage in that particular basket of sharing and singing that national anthem and doing all those particular things that maybe high-profile people are trying to show us we can do. We can stand on our own, yes.
Yeah, and of course, adding to that, I think if the world was full of bad, we would not live in it.
Exactly.
The truth is, good is much more compared to what is bad. Only that the bad is louder than the good. You know, I don't have to keep on speaking when I do good compared to, you know, of course, bad news spreads. So of course, not as good. The same way I would also say, there are still people who are standing outside here. Only that those who are not are louder than those who are standing.
Empty debes make noise.
More noise.
Yes.
And the truth is, people are actually, and then, you know, people do this in the name of, I want to practice. Of course, that is normally the most common, you know, issue. But I'm wondering, what are you practicing for?
No.
Because one, it's like attaining a PhD in something, then you marry somebody who is still in nursery school. You will be having different expectations, and that is why you will never be fulfilled, because you are busy preparing and practicing things you don't need to do. Because one, you are practicing with people outside there who have different needs. The person you get to marry doesn't have the needs that you want. They're there, so you're telling somebody to put you like this, and then they don't know what that is, because you practice other things that are not necessary for that.
Or dress in a particular way. You know, even dressing is lustful, you know. And unapata ule tu mtu amenyenyekea tu ana mambo mingi. You know, there's a Kiswahili methali that our wahenga waliposema, you know how we used to put it, lati chema, I can't remember.
Chema chajiuza, kibaya chajitembeza.
Si ndio. Ndio maana unasikia mtu ambaye jitembeze tu roho safi. You see why? Because you don't have value. But when you have value, you are going to maintain yourself. You are going to keep yourself.
Just like when you, for you people who own cars, of course for us who own cars.
Yes.
The truth of the matter is, when you go, you always do test driving for certain cars. Of course, Mercedes nasikianga hizo, you go,
direct.
There is no, it is a sure bet. You know, depends on the value. So if you put yourself on test driving, means your value has lowered. And even cars that are actually test driven, you know, they are sold even below half the normal price,
Actually,
because they have been used.
They are separate cars for that.
Yes.
Like if you want to buy a brand A, there is a brand, that brand, the same brand,
yes.
but now that one yakwambia hii ndio ile gari,
yes.
but sasa test na hii.
Yes.
You're not using the real one that you want to buy.
Yes.
Ni hii ingine,
meaning
for
that
example.
the value of this other one has already depreciated.
Yes.
So it's very important to understand that only you are only as valuable as you allow yourself, and of course if you keep on doing test driving, the things that will come to affect you in future.
True.
For me, this is what I'd say. It might even look controversial. I don't think God told us to abstain so that you can get a good spouse. That's not the reason. People think that if you don't abstain, you will actually, because, or if you don't stay away from lustful desires, you will of course not get the good spouse. No,
Yes.
I feel God is protecting us from so much that can happen
Exactly,
to us.
yeah.
For example, experiencing so many sexual relations. Imagining settling down. When you're settling down, there's a lot that is going inside your life, and there is no settling.
Those are soul
You're
ties,
just,
actually.
soul ties and everything. Secondly, of course, engaging in sexual relations, they don't allow you to focus on what is important.
Yes.
People should understand that sex is not intimacy. Sex is supposed to be just a part of intimacy.
It's an act.
So sex is not equals to love or intimacy. It is part of that love. So people, when you start engaging in sex, you forget about building the real intimacy.
Yes.
You think you love each other, but when the real thing comes in,
Real
there
situation
is no
comes.
intimacy.
Yeah, there is
I have
no,
not been able to build myself and grow with this person emotionally. And sometimes sex, it's like it blinds you.
Exactly.
I read in a psychological article, they were saying when you start having sex, even if you didn't love that person, it activates the hormone of love in your mind, such that even if you haven't learned to love this person, you begin having certain emotions towards them, and it lies to you actually love them. And then in the end, you realize that there was no real love. It was just something that was activated inside of you. Then your prefrontal cortex, as they say, is the part of your brain that helps you think through situations, real situation. Prefrontal cortex, something like that. So that part of the brain is normally the front part.
Yes.
You can't think anymore. So you can't start seeing things you need to see.
Your judgment is clouded.
It's clouded. This man maybe is a liar. You can't see
abusive relationship.
He's abusive, and you wonder why people stay in such relationships.
Hey,
honestly, and these things are so clear. So that's what happens. Sexual, intimacy. When you begin on that platform of lust and sex and everything, it's like clouds your vision. You begin not to see what you need to see, and by the time you're too deep, and you've connected with this person, remember you've already created a tie between the two of you. It is so hard for you to come out. So it's important to start on the ground of building intimacy, real intimacy first. That is love. Let me love you. Let me know you. Let me connect to you mentally, intellectually, and in my heart,
know
emotionally,
you. Who are you really?
Spiritually, in all those ways. Then we can come to the physical aspect.
Exactly.
So God is trying to protect us within so many principles, just like when you buy, for instance, let me say an iron box. The manufacturer will tell you there is a principle of operation. This iron box is only meant to iron, but if you put it in water, it will burn out. So you see, the principle is not to prevent it from enjoying, but it is to prevent it from being destroyed. So some of these principles are just meant to be there in our lives to protect us from hurt. That is why I love the fact that salvation sets you free, doesn't even withhold you from any enjoyment, because the freedom you have is you can now serve under a lot of not being bound by sin and things that really bound you. But salvation now gives you that aspect of now I am free to explore real life, and authentic life. So don't engage in sexual relationships before you really build up, because of course that is the main aspect of lust in most cases. We want to seek the body and how it feels, and we don't want to really test ourselves. And remember, the self-control that is used to maintain yourself before marriage is the same you will use. So if you don't test yourself well enough that time, temptations zitakuja bado, even when you get married. Don't think it finishes. That is why the ministry of side chicks is flourishing outside here. Because the truth is, temptation even in marriage is still there. So if you don't learn how to self-control yourself outside marriage, it's going to be very difficult to control yourself.
There's nothing beautiful like waiting.
Yeah.
You know, there's a book I read, like I waited for him, I waited for her, this iko na hiyo tu nini, yeah? And when you wait,
Yeah.
you even enjoy
Yeah.
that you have waited for. Like, let's say there's two, let's say your partner or your spouse goes a far journey or travels far and wide, so you are not in a position to be with them. You see, if he waited for you or she waited for you, you will still trust.
Yeah.
Because you see, in last, trust and confidence is not there for the other partner. Because if we engaged into sexual activities before we got married or before we had a profound, unajua kuna watu wengine wasemanga like marriage ni ya kanisa. Marriage si ya kanisa. Even when people go for traditional traditional weddings and ratio, still those ones are marriages. Yeah? So you will be patient to wait for them. You know, like, well, wherever my partner is, she or he is still faithful to wait and come back to me. But now imagine a scenario whereby you and your partner engaged into sexual activity or you engaged into an intimacy level, and now you're in a relationship with him. Every time you meet, before you even talk, ni kama anakwambia, ni kama wewe ni watchman, sorry to say, like tunaweza patana yani in secluded places. Amjai patana in public, like, hey, niaje unaweza nitembelea wapi kwangu, ni kama wewe ni mgonjwa, you know, like you are patient, unaenda kuona, and the other partner is very okay. Sawa, na come. The moment you fika there is no how are you, how have you been, you directly go into such activities. You see, that is not a right relationship actually. That one is a very wrong one. Unaona? So now maybe you advance and say, hey, let us settle, let us move in. One day I end 1 month away. What will be happening to you? What will be going through your mind?
No peace at all.
You know, if I found this guy, the first thing we did, it was a one night stand, then maybe akiwa huko, unaona, so unakosa trust, there's no trust. Like, you're not confident. Like, I cannot stand and say, you know what, he is faithful, unaona. So such things, such virtues are lost. But when you wait, there are things that are built, kuna vitu zina kuwa modified in you. Like, you'll start having trust with this person, that I'm free with this person. You know, even when we are in a closed environment, it's okay and safe, unaona. But kuna watu wengine wanaweza kuwa tu na wao kwa environment who feel, hey, hapana, this guy is not safe, you see. So let us try to eradicate those kind of things.
And of course, we still want to say that it's not the end of the road. When you fall, we're not completely telling you now that relationship is over.
No.
The truth is, maybe people will preach that gospel, but it is also important to know that even God accepts as long as you are repenting. Repenting is not the confessing. Confessing is confessing. Repenting is changing your ways.
Yes.
So if you change your ways from then on and then decide with your partner, you're not going to, this is now the standards we set, this is not going to happen anymore. You will keep even training yourselves to become stronger. So now when you see somebody has changed their ways, then that is a person to really consider again. You know, don't just throw it off because it happened. We are still human and it happens. But of course, with a lot of strict guidance and accountability, ensure that you can now build a new relationship.
And also another thing maybe I would recommend our viewers that are watching us tonight is be accountable. You know, have people that you're accountable to. Like let's say me, accountable to you, Martha. Like, hi Martha, I'm going out with my girlfriend tonight. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know. You know. Now you as Martha, you'll be like, hi Eddie, how are you? You told me you're going out. Now it's around 7. Where are you? Unaona? Nitakwambia like, I'm in my place. With who? You see? I will be frank enough nikwambia, actually I dropped her off, ama she went her way, I'm just home nitulia. Nikwambia, that's very good. You see, when you are accountable with someone, or rather you answer under someone, that is very key. That's actually the kingdom principle. You have to be under an authority. How have you exposed yourself? I'm not saying that you go outside there saying that you are dating a person A. Basically what I'm saying is at least have someone that knows your tracks. Someone knows how your dating pattern is. Even us as Christian, tunasemanga like we are born of church, we are spirit filled. Kuna vitu zingine si za roho. Vitu zingine ni za mwili bwana. Si ati tukikaa nawe hapa nitasema rish hapa. I can no. When that desire comes, it comes. You know, venye tunasemanga, when it rains, itipoas.
Yes.
Manze itamwagika tu. So to avoid that, and if you know yourself, if you know your character, maybe you are trying to change from being that maybe nature of lust. I'm not just basing it on sexually peke yake, but even in monetary term, try to keep away from those things that will trigger in those emotions, you know. If it's sexual desires that maybe you have, try to avoid enclosed places. Try to go on public areas, you know. Pale utakuwa accountable. And also observe time. Like now we have curfew hours. Don't go stays in a person's place at 9:30. Atunasema guys, sasa unajua kumekuwa 9:30, wacha tu nikae. The devil, hey, my friend, the devil si wa jana. Alafu unakuja unasema ati you know the devil, this is you. Vitu zingine anajuza sasa huyu. Amenitajia nini? Mimi sikuwa. Mimi nilikuwa nazurura huko USA. Sasa nitaja Kenya na sikuwa. You know the devil is not everywhere at once. Exactly. So basically avoid such things, and try to work with people who are married as well. You know, tell them how did you overcome. Learn. You know, the moment you learn, you'll start unlearning your previous errors. No. Basically, that's what I will say to our lovely and our dear viewers. Kindly keep it safe. Just venye tunaambiango, we are in times of a pandemic. Keep safe, keep distance, keep safe. Kaa mbali. Keep distance, kaa mbali. Sanitize bana. Enda kwa watu sikia wanasema nini. That's how you sanitize relationships, you know. Like how is this being talked and how is this being addressed? You learn from there. You know, and wear a mask. Vitu ficha mwili, jifiche. Some things they are practical.
I know.
Some things are just practical when we use them, you know. Basically in hivyo tu. And avoid going to places where you should not be going if it's not necessary. See what ndio tumeambiwa na Ministry of Health. The same with us decoding the process. We are going to tell you, avoid going to houses that you should not be going. Yes. True. Thank you.
So basically what we are trying to say is please be careful outside here. I mean, marriage is a long way to go. Please be careful before you really get into situations where you will not be happy at all. And let me tell you the truth, is lust masquerades as love sometimes when you start, but you have to really discern the thin line between, you know, lust and love. And as we've said, love is about the capacity. Have you grown your emotional capacities where you can be able to be emotionally intelligent in relationships and handle things? Have you grown your mental capacity to understand situations and be able to really say that I can understand, you know, my spouse in this situation and I'll be able to support them? Have you grown even your physical capacity, my friend? For ladies, you will be, you know, giving birth. So are you ready for that? You know, mentally, physically, and everything. So be prepared and be very, very careful when you enter these things. They are very real, by the way. They seem so obvious, but let me tell you, when you get there, you realize you really need a third eye to see, and a third, and you know, a fifth sense, as they say it, to really hear and get to discern that this is wrong or this is right. But all in all, the last thing I'd say as we conclude, of course, is love is also about destiny. When you launch your destiny, every other person, of course, falls off. For me, I've realized if somebody is not in for where you're headed to, then they are not in for who you are. So if that person doesn't seem to be in for your journey, then of course they are in for other things. So be very careful to understand that there is more to marriage than just, God didn't create a lover, he created a helper, because he knew that marriage is mainly for a mission. And he wants the two of you to come together for a future that he desires for the two of you to build. Remember, first your mission, coming up with a godly family and godly offspring. It needs two people who have one understanding. We're not even talking about, you know, the other purpose. That itself is a real responsibility. So you have to be very careful, because you need a stable family. You need, you know, people who are there for you, and you need even children to grow in a stable environment. So that is my parting shot. I believe Edu, you can give yours and of course conclude.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mother, for that wonderful parting shot. Basically, for me, what I will say is lust is like an investment. You know, I know of guys who, or people who have walked in that path, and it has been an ugly path. Till today, some have not settled. Why? Because when you tend to settle or find or identify a particular partner, you be like, kuna mwingine. You know, actually, the moment you you are in a relationship ndio unaonanga wengine nashangaa aya by the way nilikosea. That's a lustful eye. So you're going to end this relationship, go to the next. The moment you do that, you settle in that as well. Time pop, another one pops in. So you will never satisfy lust. You will never feed it fully. You know, it's kinda, it's a giant. Tunasemanga in physics kuna kwa na black hole. That black hole ata dunia ngapi zingi uko ndani, it swallows the planets, it will never be satisfied. So if lust is that, then love is beautiful as well. So guys, let us not invest in lust. Lust is something that even you can carry into marriage. Like you are still lustful at ukiwa kwa ndoa and all that. You are married but you're still lustful. It doesn't mean that when you get married that lust imeisha. No, it's something that you can still carry. But the moment you start teaching yourself, discipline is key. Utaanza tu kujifunza wewe peke yako. Wewe peke yako tu, as you walk with yourself together and also maybe someone who can guide you through, itakuja tu kuisha pole pole. You know, and that has been from us.
Yes.
We were decoding and talking about love and lust, and you have heard our opinion. We are not saying those are the key thing. We are not saying those are the key things about love and lust, but there are more. So feel free to interact with us on our social media platforms. That is Wema TV on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We are there. At a TikTok tutaingia very soon, but we are there. Feel free to reach out to us as we talk and discuss more on this. Our time is gone. Our time is far much gone, but we can still continue this conversation on our platforms. You can engage us, like you can engage me on my Facebook platform as well. I am there, Big Ed or Ed in Minor. You will find me there, and we are going to talk more. Let us walk this journey together. Don't just be like, you know what, I am all alone in this. We are here to help. We are here to walk with you and ensure that you thrive in your relationship. You thrive the right way. From us, maybe if you don't have something else to say,
all the best.
Good night. Kwaheri ya kuonana.